Today I'd like to do an update on the Lionheart LH9. Now if you guys have been following my channel, you know I've been doing an endurance test on this pistol, but it's kind of toned down a bit. And it's sort of slowed down because of other guns coming in and the time I need to spend with those. And just breaks I've needed here and there. But anyways, I wanted to go ahead and give an update because something very interesting happened. And I guess now is a pretty good time to do a 15,000 round review on it. So, anyways, I'm at about 16,500 rounds, give or take, 50 rounds or whatever, just to test carry loads, because sometimes I do carry this pistol. In the wintertime, I did carry this pistol a lot. It's been through a lot in its, I guess, testing phase. It has been dropped on the ground on purpose, and I just want to go ahead and show the actual wear on the slide. Pardon the focus on my camera, taking a little bit of time, but here we go. Just do it manually, and here we go. So as you can see, the Cerakote actually holds up very well, and yeah, I'm pretty impressed by it. Now I'm going to go ahead and open it up and just show you the wear before I discuss the other subject that I wanted to go ahead and bring up. So here is the slide stop and also the takedown pin. This holds the pistol together. I guess it's only natural to start with the frame, and as you can see, the wear here, the slide at the front is in these little channels, rides in here much like a Browning high power, and also here's the rails here. They have worn pretty nicely, and the Cerakote's actually held up pretty well. This pistol kind of has more of a loose fitting. This isn't loose tolerances. Loose tolerances means that you'll have a variance in the size of the components. That's not fitting. A lot of people, misuse that labeling. So, anyways, it has a little bit of loose fitting, but that's what accounts for the smooth operation of the pistol. And yeah, I'm pretty impressed with how well this is stuck together. As you can see, this area right here where the slide is smacked the frame is actually done pretty well, and in here it is done very well. And now on to the subject that I wanted to talk about before I move on to the slide. We have a spring. I'm not sure how easy it is to see, but it is a trigger bar spring, and it's about right there. So I'm sure you may be able to see it right there, but it's kind of hard to focus, obviously. But anyways, that spring snapped, and I had an extra one, so I installed it. And Lionheart's going to send me another one. Great customer service. They always answer. Most likely, Eric will be picking up, and so he's usually very good about taking care of everybody, and he tries to get you routed to somebody that can help you out if you just want more information about the platform. So anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the slide. Okay, and here's the inside of the slide, and as you can see, it is, the Cerakote's seeing a little bit of chipping here. Not really chipping, but it's just wear. Sometimes you get inconsistencies in the ejection if your reloads are a little bit off, because as you reload it, you might compromise the integrity of the rim. Sorry about that. And yeah, it's just a little bit of a risky take, but the lockup is very solid, and there's no excess wear really. There's no dangerous amounts of wear. And the sights, as you can see here, I blacked out the rear sight. This was a more of a 3-dot setup, so I blacked this out, and I also colored the front sight with nail polish. So that's how my sight picture is. So if I can zoom in on that properly, I can probably get you, that's about as good as it's gonna get right there. So it's a pretty good sight picture, I think. So yeah, pretty impressed with this pistol. I can shoot this pistol very well, very durable, low on recoil. Just very happy with it. Now, the next subject I want to discuss is the magazines. Now, this is a stock magazine. I only got one with this pistol. This was about a $400 purchase on Bud's Gun Shop because this is one of the original pistols that they got from Korea with the slight modifications, you know, the labeling and such. And yeah, it came with one magazine, which was kind of upsetting, but yeah, the stock magazine has been completely reliable. And Lionheart decided that they wanted to go ahead and get some things into the U.S., so they started making their own magazines with a partnership that they've had, maybe not really partnership, but a deal they have with Metgar to go ahead and produce some magazines. They laser engrave it. Let me go ahead and give you a close-up of this magazine for a second. So when Lionheart gets these magazines, they use the same follower that comes with the magazine. They get the whole magazine, and they use the same springs. They just laser engrave it. They modify the front here a little bit to prevent friction or to tighten it up, whatever their reasoning is. This is a 15-round magazine, and they modify the floor plate a little bit to make it a little bit more durable. They design this floor plate themselves, and they make it themselves. So you know, it's just it's a nice little, you know, upgrade to the older magazines, but I still think that the Korean magazines are a little bit more reliable. But the problem is, anything that's import is typically going to give you a problem in one way or another, because you're at the mercy of, you know, the company that is overseas, and when they already have contracts to fulfill for a military contract, it's going to be kind of hard. So yeah, you could be at the mercy of the other company to get magazines for weeks, even months at a time, which was the case. It was about a 4-month gap at times for Lionheart, which is kind of crappy for their customers. So, anyways, let's move on. So really the biggest thing for me is that the Lionheart has very low recoil. I've gotten a lot of feedback about how the trigger system is a little weird, but it does help people actually get their first shot on target with the double action plus, and I discussed that in another video, so I'm not going to waste your time with that. So I have a full playlist of the LH9, and you can go through and look at the triggers. I also wrote an article on my blog. I believe it was actually my first article on the blog, so go ahead and look for that if you're wanting a little bit more information on the trigger system that this uses. But anyways, with this pistol, you're looking at about $750 if you buy it off Lionheart's website. I don't believe you're going to find it on Bud's Gun Shop. You may find it on Gun Broker here and there, but really, I'm not so sure that the value is that great, but maybe that's just me being spoiled. But when you're comparing it to SIGs and Berettas, I think I've proven with numerous dry firings and you know, the really heavy round count in the wintertime and me stress testing it, that it really keeps up with the competition, and the quality is amazing, especially the magazines. Usually magazines will crap out pretty early, but they're proven to be very good quality. And another note about the magazines, I want to just show you the followers for a second. Okay, these are the followers of the two magazines. You have Metgar on the left and the Daewoo or S&T Motive magazine that comes with the pistol. You'll notice right here, this rise right here is a lot higher than this one. And Metgar magazines have a problem with reliability in terms of not feeding, but actually locking back the slide on the last shot fired. If that's really important to you, that's something to consider. But you look how raised this is. If I were Lionheart, I would actually make my own followers, and I would actually raise this up just like this, because I think that attributes to the great reliability. This stock magazine has seen hell. You can actually load 14 rounds in this, kind of like the CZs, and it's about the Glock 19 size platform, so it's a great metal frame pistol. It's very slim, very easy to carry, and it is just an amazing shooter. And I got a lot of feedback on this pistol and the function, and people were just really impressed, and a lot of people wanted their own. But you know, at a price of about $750, I don't know if that's worth it to a lot of people. But I praise Lionheart for wanting to go ahead and do their own stuff as far as magazines are concerned, but I think they definitely need to try to look at doing their own follower with the floor plate, because if you raise it up a bit, you won't have to worry about the reliability, because that was an issue I definitely had with the 17 round Metgar magazine, and also even the 20 rounder. So yeah, this was an issue at times. I had the 20 rounder, and it's the same height, basically ledge right here that pushes up on the slide stop. So there was definite issues with that compared to the Korean one, which is guaranteed, basically guaranteed to lock open the slide, even with the rusty springs and everything. Completely reliable with this magazine. Terrific design and well manufactured. Overall, I'm kind of sad that Lionheart has not gotten more attention in the market. My goal has really been to draw attention to it because I think the design is sound, but I didn't really understand the reliability that they were offering. And a lot of people had talked about the low recoil of this platform, and it really is true. The pistol is completely forged. There's no cast or billet parts, extrusion, and it is not really weak. The Koreans have not really had any reports of actual slide cracks, and they've had these things around for over 25 years, and they've been completely reliable as far as the slide and frame go, and they don't really typically replace parts. So you have some high round counts that are kind of like the Berettas, Beretta M9s in our service, but you do see some frame cracks and slide cracks, etc. But for the most part, their engineering and their production is just high quality. It's terrific, and they really basically perfected it right away. So if you're looking at getting one of these pistols, definitely go to Lionheart. They typically have a few of them on hand, and they're transitioning right now to something else. So definitely get there and get your pistol. Excellent warranty. They take care of their customers, and you won't regret it.